Time to re-up YouTube. Your boy Mustard is back with another video, and we're here to talk about some KD news. Yesterday there was some news that dropped because of some quotes that Kevin Durant said that riled up a lot of people in the NBA community. And I was fairly disappointed with KD's comments, even though I should have expected them considering who he's been throughout his entire career. KD said, and I quote, "When we're all playing like shit, you know the one person that they're gonna look at. That's why I requested a trade." He goes on to also state that looking at our starting lineup, Edmund Sumner, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Nick Claxton, and me. It's not disrespect, but what are you expecting from that group? You expect us to win because I'm out there. Yikes. That's crazy, I ain't gonna lie. I can't believe he really threw his teammates' names out there. That's wild. And this quote itself really summarizes how I feel about Kevin Durant and his lack of leadership throughout his entire career. But before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to the sponsors of this video, Ridge. When it comes to some of the best wallets you will ever find, Ridge has it for you. Here I am right here with my wallet. Man, I gotta say, it is made out of steel damn near. We're talking about a company that even if a car rolls over it, this thing won't budge at all. It will still be intact as if it's brand new. One of the features I love about it so much, outside of just the material and what it's made out of, is how easy it is for you to get your cards. As you can see, here is the wallet, and if you just push up on it, the card comes out. Just that simple. You grab it and you go make the swipes and purchases of your life. And if you're still not convinced, let me convince you with this. You can get the best offer possible by going down below in the description box, pressing the link that has ridgewallet.com/mustard, and you can save up to 40% off of any purchase that you make between now and December 22nd. Make sure you go and do that so you can get a nice Christmas gift for your mom, your brother, your sister, whoever it is in your family. Go and check out the Ridge ASAP down below. The link is in the description box. Do it today. But now that we're done with the plugs, let's get back to the rest of this video and talk about the Slim Reaper himself and his lack of leadership. When it comes to KD throughout his time in the NBA, especially over the last 5 to 6 seasons, he has lacked so many qualities of a great leader in this league. And that's not to say that KD hasn't had great moments of leadership. Hell, if you look at his Game 6 performance in 2021, it really exemplifies how KD leads his team. It's more so of a lead by example kind of thing, and I completely understand that. But at a certain point in time, you have to take on that vocal role on your team, and saying things like the quote I said earlier on in this video is just not going to fly and help your team, especially when you're in the midst of one of the worst parts of your career with that organization. Right now, this team needs uplifting, and for Kevin Durant to come out and say the things that he said was truly baffling. This is not the first time that KD has deflected a lot of the blame when it comes to his failures in his career. I specifically remember when Kevin Durant came out once and said, "I've never choked. If I ever miss shots, it's just because I'm missing shots," something to that effect, when he talked about his failures in the past during his Oklahoma City days. And that's so crazy to me because Kevin Durant, I've seen you fold. I saw you fold against the Memphis Grizzlies when you lost in 5 games without Westbrook. I saw you fold against the San Antonio Spurs with Westbrook in that 6-game series in 2014 against the Spurs. Hell, I saw you fold against the Golden State Warriors in 2016 when you were up 3-1 and blew the lead while you were playing like garbage in games 5 and 6. But no, let's blame the pieces around him and the coach like he did when he had his burner accounts. I mean, that was one of the most cowardly things I have ever seen being done, and the fact that people just skim over that part of KD's career is truly baffling to me. KD always likes to make it seem like everything is just about hoops and he doesn't care about things like where he ranks in the NBA, but you can tell that kind of stuff eats away at his very soul when you actually just listen to what he says and watch what he does. No grown man who is secure in his decision to leave a team to another team that just beat him is going to be making burner accounts to defend his his decision. I didn't see LeBron James do that. I didn't see DeMarcus Cousins do that when he went to the Warriors. I haven't seen any player do something so lame like that. And him having burners isn't even the issue. It's the fact that he used those burners to disrespect his former players that he played with and coach. KD is a grown man that lacks a lot of accountability, and the fact that he defended himself by going on another social media account to disguise himself as a random burner is insane to me. To then blame your coach through that method is truly the epitome of a coward. He has made comments about OKC and Golden State since his departures from those organizations, and honestly, KD is on pace to not even get his jersey retired by either of those teams if he keeps saying the things that he's saying. And hell, he may never get his jersey retired by OKC, but Golden State, I think he will get his jersey retired from them. But if he keeps saying stuff like, oh, the fans never respected me, the organization never respected me, they always favored Steph over me, like, why would you throw that kind of verbiage out there when you know why it's like that? Why would the fans stick beside you more than anybody else on that organization when you jumped on the bandwagon after they already went 73-9, they already won a championship the year before they went 73-9, and they beat your ass to get to the finals in 2016 in the first place? Mind you, a lot of these examples that I'm bringing up have nothing to do with his Brooklyn Nets tenure, because now that brings us to his time in Brooklyn, and it's truly been a roller coaster of a mess. First, him and Kyrie go there and they wanted Steve Nash. Ironically, people just forget that detail about his tenure, that he pitched for Steve Nash to be the coach of the team after Kenny Atkinson built that squad up from the ground up. There were rumors and reports that Kenny Atkinson, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Jordan, and Kyrie Irving were not happy that DJ wasn't getting enough minutes over Jarrett Allen. Can you believe that? They were pissed that DeAndre Jordan, one of the worst starters in the league for years at the tail end of his career right now, wasn't getting enough minutes over Jarrett Allen, an all-star center that's one of the best defensive bigs in the NBA. That is crazy to me, and the fact that people skim over that fact and little detail of his tenure is so wild. Everybody likes to shit on Steve Nash and say Steve Nash can't coach, Steve Nash can't do this, even though over the last 2 seasons he was coaching one of the best offenses in the NBA, while players like KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, the core pieces of their teams over that tenure, were missing games left and right. I'm not saying Steve Nash is a great coach. I'm not saying Steve Nash didn't deserve to be fired, but he lacked a lot of credit given to him with the circumstances that he was put under. And the fact that the Nets heard out KD and Kyrie, even after Kyrie and KD were going on podcasts saying that they didn't need a coach in the first place, they also got to take blame for that. But KD, you are the best player. You signed off on that decision. Hell, you've even come out and stated that you had influence on a lot of the roster moves in the first place. You wanted James Harden, you got him. And I'm not gonna knock you for it, because hey, I would want James Harden too, but you gotta live with the consequences of your own actions. You don't then go and demand a trade and then say, hey, it's either you trade me or you fire Sean Marks, who has done everything for you, everything you've wanted up until that point, or Steve Nash, who the coach that you wanted. That is some cowardly bullshit. Sean Marks has bent over backwards trying to fulfill all of the requests that KD and Kyrie Irving have wanted. And KD, you are the one that now wants him out of a job? That is insane to me, and I'm glad that Joe Tsai, who I don't like for obvious reasons right now, did not give in to that stupid ass request. And now here you are this year in a situation fairly similar to that of LeBron James in 2018. And when you throw in the fact that Ben Simmons, who you guys traded James Harden for, looks like a role player that literally cannot play at certain parts of the game because he's an offensive liability, now it's up to you to carry the load road and you're complaining and calling out teammates by name, that is truly the epitome of some lame ass shit and bad leadership. If I'm Royce O'Neal, if I'm Nick Claxton, I'm gonna walk in that locker room and confront him and say, hey, why'd you put my name out there on blast like that? I got a family, dog. I got kids, and you out here basically calling me a trash basketball player out to the public. Why would I respect you? It's clear you didn't respect me enough to not put me out there to the media. That's some bullshit. If KD just came out there and said, hey man, the supporting pieces around me, we gotta step up and play better, that's fine. I have no problem with him saying the pieces around him aren't good enough in order for him to win a championship, because he's not putting anybody specifically out there on blast. But when you actually throw names into the mix, you're disrespecting these guys that are grown men. They got families that listen to what you say. They got kids that may hear what you say. Imagine that kid going up to their father being like, dang dad, I thought you was good. KD just said you trash, dog. That's disrespect, and that's bad leadership from KD. And I shouldn't be surprised when I see stuff like this, because he's done this in OKC, he's done this in Golden State, and now he's just picking up where he left off in Brooklyn. And it's crazy because if you go back in time, KD has said before, I am not a leader. Word for word, I'm not a leader. He said that out of his own mouth. It's like KD wants all the credit whenever they win in Golden State. He wanted to be recognized as the best player in the league, because don't forget, he was like, hey man, I don't understand why people still say LeBron is better than me. I've been beating him in the finals. He wanted all that credit when he was winning. But whenever he's losing, he's always quick to shift the blame to somebody else. It's always somebody else's fault. In OKC, it was the coach's fault, right? It was Billy Donovan's fault. That's what he was saying on them weak ass burners. You can't take all the credit when you win and then try to avoid all the blame when you lose. It's called being a leader, KD. And I'm not saying I've never seen him take accountability, but the amount of times that he has shifted the blame to somebody else and the amount of times that he runs from his problems, it shows he's not ready to be a true leader. He doesn't want to embrace that actual challenge. He wants to run from the grind and take the easy way out every single time. Because in his words, hey, he's just trying to hoop. KD has come out and even said when he won his championship at Golden State, he didn't feel fulfilled. And it shows that he's not fulfilled. I don't see LeBron still complaining about his decision to go to Miami. Hell, he didn't complain even in the moment. He knew what the backlash would be, but he didn't care. KD cares. He cares about that shit. Because if he didn't care, why would you leave Golden State? Why would you leave? You got Steph Curry right there with you. You got Draymond right there with you, one of the best defensive players of all time. Klay Thompson, one of the best shooters of all time. Steve Kerr, one of the best coaches of his era. He's insecure about a lot of shit that he acts like he's secure in. That's who he is. And even though I partially feel bad for you because some of this stuff is bad luck that has happened to this team, when you say quotes like this, it just reminds me of who you actually are when it comes to your leadership. You're not a number one guy, and it isn't because of your talent. It's because of this. You don't got the heart. You don't got the dog in you that guys like LeBron have shown, guys like Giannis have shown, guys like Steph have shown, taking that accountability to carry a franchise on their back throughout the good and the bad. Hell, I'll even say Russell Westbrook in his prime had more of that dog in him and the intangibles to actually take a franchise on his back more than you did. He may not have the skill and talent that you have, obviously, but he had that dog in him with his leadership. You're not a true leader, KD. You have number one talent, but you got number two intangibles. But hey, that concludes this video, you guys. I just had to get that rant off. I'm really disappointed in KD. I expect better from a player of his caliber. Let me know your opinions down below in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, press that bell for post notifications, and follow me on social media. The links are down below in the description box. It's your boy Young Mustard signing out. Y'all stay safe and have a blessed day. Peace.